Hi, my name is Jade Lee, and I live in Stone Mountain, Georgia, which is on the east side of Atlanta Metropolitan in Georgia. I am in the THM program, Masters of Theology program. I'm also in the process of applying for the PhD program. So Fuller has a track where you can start the THM and then your credits will move over to the PhD. I'm in that process right now, and I'm a recent graduate alum from Fuller with my Master's of Divinity. I am excited about the next steps in my academic journey. I've also been accepted into the Doctorate of Global Leadership, so I have some options in front of me, and we'll see where God chooses to place me next in the academia. As far as my religious context or denomination, I grew up in a Black Baptist church, both small and a mega church in New Jersey. And I am now non-denominational, but also affiliated with PCUSA. My husband is in the process of being ordained in PCUSA. I'm praying about that process, but I am a church planner and a global leader of church planners around the world. So we will see what God does about my ordination as well. I'm in a lot of transition. As far as my experience of preaching as a preacher and a hearer, I love listening to sermons. I love critiquing sermons, and I've grown in my own development as a preacher as well. And that is in large part because of me seeing the impact of sermons on hearers and how important it is not to just sound good to get a crowd moving or be charismatic, but also to simultaneously make sure that your sermons are theologically strong and that they help listeners with their orthopraxy, their emotional development, that they don't walk away being condemned, they don't walk away being oppressed, but that you're giving not only individuals but whole systems and communities the tools needed to do what Isaiah 61 says, which is to heal those that are mourning, give them joy, to raise up generations that have been desolated, and to be able to bring true freedom that the gospel has purchased for us. And then my experience with African American preaching, as I said, I grew up in the Black church. Black church is my mother, and I have heard African American preaching my whole life. I love it. I love the cadences. I love the style. I wish that I was more of a carried more of that myself, but I have my own style. And yes, of course, I am an African American preacher myself. But as a woman, I'll get into that is an African American preacher, it has been very challenging for me to stay on the journey of preaching, for me to even have places to preach, for me to see myself as a preacher and be accepted as a preacher, because I grew up in complementarian environments where women were to be seen but not heard, to be beautiful but not necessarily to be intellectual, and intellectually beautiful, and to keep their voice and leadership within the confines of other women. And because of that, it has caused me to have to go on my own self-development journey of embodying preaching as God is telling me to. And my reason for taking this class, including what I hope to gain from this experience, is that I love preparing sermons. I love editing and critiquing sermons. And then, of course, as a Black woman, I'm very interested in, the womanist theological and preaching tradition, and how that can help me with my own confidence, how it can help me just create an even stronger voice than what I already have. I've been preaching for about 20 years now, so I am always just seeking to grow and to be used by God in whatever way that God deems appropriate for this season of my life. So I'm hoping that I'll gain more preaching acumen and development. Thank you.